Oh, look at that, it's perfect. Oh.
So, what is happening, people? Welcome back to another video. So today's a bit of a different one. I'm here with none other than Jeff Paints.
Hello.
And we are going to have a little chit chat. This is more of my doing. I want to know more about Jeff. Jeff doesn't want to know anything about me. I'm only joking. But no, we've had a good conversation before this. We've had a little sit down and we've hashed out a lot of stuff that we want to know about each other via YouTube and everything like that. But for anyone that doesn't know, this is Jeff Paints, an incredible portrait artist. He's done portraits for numerous people all over the world. He mostly does pet portraits, and they are absolutely incredible. Final example is the one behind us. If you want to go check out any of this guy's work, is outstanding. The link will be down in the description. Go check him out, and we'll get on with the interview.
Thank you.
You've been painting since you were 11. What actually got you into graffiti? What was the first thing that sparked your interest in, one, graffiti, two, art?
So with graffiti it was hip hop, because I'm an old man and I was here when hip hop first came to these shores back in the 1980s. So I remember things like the sort of Look In magazine. They did a sort of hip hop special where they featured people like the Beastie Boys and Run DMC, and it was kind of all packaged together quite nicely with graffiti. This was when I was maybe about 12 or 13, and to be honest, the graffiti side of things wasn't really the thing that appealed to me. I was more of a break dancer. So I was one of the guys with a sort of rolled out bit of lino and a beatbox, sort of in the middle of town, busting some moves in the 80s. And yeah, so it was that side of things to me that kind of appealed to me. But the graph sort of thing went hand in hand with it. And I've always been interested in art. I've always kind of drawn pictures since I was a little kid. And so me and the mates that I had at school, that's one of the things that we started doing, was just drawing our names and kind of graffiti pieces. So the usual kind of route for someone of my age, I think.
Yeah.
We then found a copy of Subway Art, and that it was the catalyst. Really, it went from there. But like I do find it quite interesting that a lot of people from my age, they seem to have had a lot more opportunities to kind of experience different things to do with graffiti and hip hop, whereas I lived in a small Welsh valley town, and the idea of going to London was just out of the question, really, and everything seemed to happen in other places. So for example, Style Wars, the movie, I didn't see Style Wars until about 6 years ago, because when I was a kid that was just the stuff of myths and legends. Somebody somewhere had a video which had Star Wars on it, but we never got to see it. So
what was Style Wars? It was like,
so that was the 1980s film from New York of the kind of graffiti trains with Henry Chalfant and Martha Cooper, yeah, it was, like I say, it was one of the things which kind of launched graffiti in this country, really.
yeah. So a lot of people that get into graffiti, they are like from the hip hop scene.
Yeah.
Not like myself. I'm from the other side, where I come in through art, where I think I viewed like other people saying, like, if you can't rap or if you can't MC, you then do beatboxing. If you can't do beatboxing, you're a break dancer. If you can't break dance, you do graffiti. And graffiti is the lower end of the hip hop scene. But from what I'm guessing, you need the most talent, because a lot of people think they can paint letters and think they can do all the hip hop characters and things. And when they actually pick up a spray can, it's one of the hardest things you can master, well, in my eyes anyway.
Yeah.
So what was it like picking up a can for the first time? What was you like?
Well, the first time that we did it was on a mate's garage wall, like I say, when I was about 11 or 12, and it was awful, because it is, you think that you'll, like I say, pick up a can and just this amazing thing will come out, but it's just not like that at all. And of course we were using car plan paint, I think it was, something like that. So this was before the days of sort of Montana and Molotow.
Modern day paint now, it's called the Wilco's paint, we call it, where if you spray it, it ends up on the floor more than on the wall. So it's probably the equivalent, is it?
Yeah. So I didn't do my first piece, like proper piece, until about 2003. But I'd been, like I say, drawing and sketching, because I'm a photographer, so I'd photographed a lot of graffiti, and I lived in Bournemouth for about a year, and there was quite a strong graffiti scene down there, so I used to kind of walk up and down the tracks and photograph sort of pieces that I saw, and just keep a kind of record of it. And like I say, I was always sketching and drawing, and then it wasn't until I met a couple of friends and they saw my sketchbook, and they painted, and they were like, you have to come and paint. What are you doing? Just doing all these sketches all the time. You need to go out there and paint. So yeah, with their help, I sort of learnt.
Yeah. So from looking at a couple of your videos, you've done like an origin video and things like that. These are all really good things to go and watch about Jeff. It seems like you've had a lot of like influence from other artists to like bring you out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
So you like your comfort zone seemed to me that it was the photography type of stuff, being in the background, and then when people actually understood that you have this talent, you have this art need to get it out, they bring you out of your shell a little bit.
Yeah.
So
basically,
is it
yeah.
Gone and Mesh? They kind of took you under the wing as such.
EL3 for life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they did. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I say Mesh was the first person that I met, because I lived around the corner from a legal wall in Exeter, and I was quite often up there taking photographs. And then one day there was a guy painting there, and it was the first time I'd actually seen somebody painting. And I remember that I saw him, and then I walked past him, and I carried on walking, and I thought, no, I'm going to go and talk to him. So I went back, and he turned out to be one of the nicest people ever, and yeah, really friendly. And then he hooked me up with his mate, and yeah, we started painting together and formed a little crew. So it's good times.
It's just mad, really, that you going out that day and bumping into him. You could have bumped into anyone else. Like a lot of people, like when I'm painting on the streets, for instance, just think because we've got a spray can in our hand that we're some hooligan or someone that's got a bad temper or something like that. But most of the time, we're just nerdy guys that watch Star Wars most of the time, like, you know. But like that's what it is like for me. And but yeah, it's just a lot of people don't get that bad perception from a graffiti artist.
Yeah.
But yeah, so with painting with Mesh and Gone, is it?
Yeah.
You've travelled a lot and done a lot of paintings together.
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
So how long did
not
you
so
paint
much with
together?
Mesh, because he kind of retired up to about 2 years after I
right.
got into it. But with Gone, yeah. So we then recruited another member to the crew, who's a guy called Suggs, and yeah, the three of us together. Because it always has to be three for some reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've
EL3
around
kind of needs three.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, but so where's painting taken you all together?
Oh, to a world of frustration and annoyance.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Basically.
So like, I've seen that you've been to like North Wales and painted the side of
to some
ship and
yeah. I mean that was probably still the best experience that I've ever had. Just being like on that ship with some of the great names that were on there. You're now going to ask me who those names were, but Finn, do you know Finn DAC? He paints geisha girls.
Yes,
with
yes.
Striped on. So like he was somebody whose work that I really admired. He got on there. Kiwi was on there. There was a French graph artist called Goin, I think it's called. Yeah, just to share in something like that was just an amazing experience. And basically I was treated like royalty for the weekend. Me and a mate went up to North Wales. We were put up in a hotel. We got to go round to the guy that was organising the whole thing. We went to his house, and he fed us and basically just looked after us. But yeah, being on top of a cherry picker, painting the side of a ship was just, I just couldn't believe that it was happening.
I've seen some of the images there.
Absolutely amazing. I think you can tell, I don't smile very often, but the smile on my face just, I think, says a lot, really. Yeah, it was fantastic. And we were really lucky because the day before, Snub had painted, and he'd painted in a blizzard. It was terrible. It was so cold. It was snowing, but the next day it completely changed, and we were painting in t-shirts at one point.
I did see you did have a big fluffy ball hat
yeah,
on.
as soon as the sun went in, it was freezing cold. But yeah, we were really lucky to have not been in this blizzard. But
it was in Wales, so
you
did have rain.
Yeah, we did have a little bit of rain. No, actually, we didn't have any rain. No, we didn't. We didn't have any rain.
You got lucky.
It was January. Yeah, it was lucky, and January, February time. But yeah, it was pretty
I
cold.
bet it was cold.
It was pretty cold.
Jeez.
But yeah, really good time. Really good time.
Do you think it was because the mural that you painted was so big that going big was what you enjoyed the most, or was it the fact of who you was with, the camaraderie of everybody?
It was just the fact that it was happening, really.
Yeah?
Because you know, I'd been sat in my shed painting canvases on my own, not really kind of being involved with anything, and then to be included in something like that was a really special moment, I think. So yeah, and the fact that I got to paint, you know, the captain of the ship on the ship that the captain was captain of, I think was pretty awesome as well.
I would have loved to have done something like that. It looked awesome.
It's just I mean, I don't know what they're doing with the ship at the moment, but it's such a shame because all the artwork is gone and it's all been painted over, and it's now this big black sort of eyesore on the North Wales coast rather than this art extravaganza. But
the reason why I asked quite a few questions on that was because I've never really painted with anybody, and I was just wondering, painting with someone, does it make that much of a difference? Because like yourself, you paint a lot in your shed now.
Yeah.
Do you find the old days painting with people there was a lot more thing? Would you like?
To be honest with you, I probably painted with other people in the same way as I paint in my shed, and we don't really have that much communication. You get to the wall and you're painting.
You don't paint with me, yeah.
And I don't think I'd get a lot of work done if I painted with you, to be honest with you.
No.
So yeah, like most of the people that I painted with are similar sort of people who are very quiet and just wanted to, you know, just get on with it.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know this about me because I don't really do a lot of talking on camera. I do little bits, but they don't get to see a lot of me. But I literally can talk a glass eye to sleep, and
I can testify to that, definitely.
Yeah, we was only supposed to come down for like an hour, have a little hour chit chat before this. It's been 3.5 hours before this has even started, because I've just yacked Jeff's head off for that amount of time. Just trying to like find out like how
good to get to know you.
What makes him tick really, and try to give him my experience with like YouTube and art and everything like that. And try to get some tips out of him as well, like, you know, which I've learned a lot from in general, just from watching his videos and everything, like. But so where did the transition come from? I'm gonna not do letters anymore, because we know that you did like the bandage type of
ninjas, the
ninja and your star letters and everything through watching your videos. Where did the transition come from I'm gonna now finish with the letters and do more portrait stuff? Was it just a gradual thing, or was it just I'm going to bite the bullet and I'm going to do my first ever portrait?
It was, for a long time, we were all kind of in the mentality that when you paint something, as long as you get a photograph of it, you can walk away from it. But when you have to walk past something that you've done time and time again and see it get gradually destroyed more and more, it crushes your soul. It really does. And basically, I just got fed up of seeing stuff that I spent hours and hours and hours doing just being sort of defaced in seconds and then being ruined. And so I just decided I wanted to create some art that people could actually keep, and that it wasn't going to get trashed, basically. Yeah.
Unless you flick some paint on it by yourself.
Unless I do that myself.
Because you can't see it. It's just off shot here where Jeff has got a station set up here, and with the stencil cap he flicks a lot of paint, and there's a substantial amount of paint flicking been going on in here, and I'm surprised he's only got it all in one area. If it was myself, it'd be everywhere. So, but I'm just in awe of like the paintings that you do, that the level of concentration it takes to do your work. I'll grab it now. There's a painting of a cat now that's been started. We're not going to show too much, but that is the size of the painting, and it absolutely baffles me that how you can get something so small. Like, so how long will a painting of that size take you to do?
So it probably takes me about 3 weeks, because I don't paint every single day, but if you broke it down in days, it'd probably take about 5 or 6 days.
So is it near enough a week?
Near enough a week, yeah. And that's probably doing about 6 or 7 hours every day. Yeah.
Because from what I can see, that you're a bit of a perfectionist, and to me, like, everything needs to be right, proper spot on. Because the grid system that Jeff's put on just on this little canvas is mind blowing. Like myself, I do portraits and things, but I just slap up a doodle grid and the precision.
I could grid that 7 times more. I was thinking this the other night. I could just keep gridding until there's nothing but grid, and then you won't see anything underneath it. But I can always, kind of like divide and then subdivide.
Yeah.
More cubes.
But that comes out in your work, like the level of precision that you have with a spray can, and from us having a chat earlier was that a lot of people don't think that Jeff's done half of his work with a spray can.
With spray cans, yeah. One of the reasons why I started the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is the reason why, just to show people like this is spray paint, guys. Like that I'm not using a paintbrush. I'm not using.
I once had an argument with somebody. So I once had an argument with somebody who knew exactly what make of coloured pencils that I was using to do my drawings. So yeah, that was quite a fun conversation, particularly when all my friends got involved to actually put him straight.
The Jeff bandwagon just jumped on.
My fan club.
Yeah. But so where did Jeff paint come from? Is it just something that just?
Well, because I used to write the whole name thing is quite complicated. But like when I was a graffiti artist. Actually, going back further than that, when I was a DJ, because I used to DJ at free parties back in the 90s, and I was part of a DJ duo. My name was Space Hop, and his name was Jellyhead. Hello, Adrian. And yeah, we were kind of like a DJ duo. So the name Space Hop has been with me since about 1992, but Space Hop is quite a lot of letters to paint on a wall.
Yeah.
And so I was looking at ways of sort of shortening it. So the Space Hop was lengthened initially to Space Hop Star, and then the star bit was the bit that I actually painted on walls. So STA was the letters I used to paint on walls. When I stopped doing graffiti, I wanted a name which was a little bit more in keeping with the sort of thing that I was doing. So my sort of Facebook page and my Instagram page was called Pet Portraits by Jeff Evans, which is a little bit boring and a little bit of a mouthful. So when I started the YouTube channel, I just wanted something which was a bit snappier, and it just seemed to be the most straightforward thing to do. My name's Jeff and I paint, so Jeff Paints.
By default as well, he's changed his name from Jeff Evans to Jeff Paints. So if anyone ever calls him Jeff Evans, they're wrong. It's Jeff Paints.
I think because of the people that I looked like, whose videos I watched on YouTube, Kipto, 1000, Smo, there's nothing about their kind of real. They all have this kind of character. So I created the character.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
So if you was to inspire younger artists now, how would you advise them to go about starting this journey as such? Would you like?
I think I'd say don't expect too much too soon.
Yeah.
You have to put the work in. You were saying yourself, 3 weeks just drawing sort of straight lines with a spray can. That's the way to go if you want to learn how to do can control. I've been there myself. I had a board in my back garden, and that's all I did for weeks, just trying to master that line.
Yeah.
Having said that, what I do now, I almost had to relearn how to paint because it is a completely different way of painting to what I was painting before. And I never professed to have been any good at graffiti, and it still amazes me that people that can do these kind of super clean lines all in one go. I mean, I tend to go like that, and it goes, a little bit wobbly at the end, sort of thing. But yeah, this was almost start again from scratch, really. Yeah, and looking at people like Acute from Heracoot.
Yeah.
You heard of those two? So Acute sort of paints all the photorealist stuff, and he was a really big influence on me, and he's the one that got me into using a bit of card to
right.
all the edges and stuff. Yeah, because for a long time, especially when we were doing graffiti, any other kind of tricks or sort of, there was just seen as cheating, and you just did not do that. So I was very reluctant to try something different in that respect, but after seeing his work, I thought, well, if it's good enough for him, then it's good enough for me. But all of the kind of the portrait stuff that I did, the larger scale stuff, I didn't use card for those. I've only got into using the cards since I've got smaller, and it kind of started from stopping drips.
Yeah.
That's the main reason why I would put the card underneath where I was painting. And then I saw Acute, and it's just like, well, why don't I just tear a little shape out of that, and then I can build it up from there. So.
Do you find that, like, now that you're doing your own work, that there is no rules to art? Like, you know, that if I want to use a bit of card, I'll use a bit of card. If I want to use a bit of a paintbrush to get a few little bits, sort of Posca marker and things like that, I'll do whatever I need to do to get it done.
Yeah, I think that's the Smonova school of thought.
Yeah.
That, you know, just do whatever.
Well, exactly the same year that when I first started off, like, trying to do anything without the spray paint can, and it had to be done with the spray paint can. Like, you're only limited with spray paint, you know, unless you want to bring other tools in. You can actually push your art then to, like, really, really awesome and, like, extraordinary levels by just adding in another thing to your arsenal. Like, and, like, for instance, like, I painted Hulk once, and the face was really small, and I decided I'm just going to do it in spray paint, and it just turned to mush. Right. It was just, his face looked like he'd been chewed up by some wasps or something. Like, you know, he looked like, you know, puffed out and everything. But just watching you, I did a painting of Captain Tom Moore, and you were the one who inspired me then to use some card to then get, like, the hairs in the moustache, and then later on then I went and painted a dog, and I used the same technique. Like, so you've inspired, like, from watching your videos, I've now learned how to do my dog portraits. I don't do a lot of them, and I don't say I want to do a lot of them. Yeah, in fact, I'm painting one tomorrow. But yeah, so
I'll come and give you a hand.
Yeah, we haven't got 6 days. No, but, you know, it's just you probably don't know this, like, because we're both small channels. You've probably inspired a lot of artists, and I was just wondering, do you get a lot of good feedback from
yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and that's, like, you know, through YouTube, I've kind of been introduced to people from all over the world, and yeah, a lot of. Yeah, I mean, it always chokes me up a little bit, but, you know, when people say that sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, I've got a Christmas greeting from somebody just sort of saying, like, you know, you've been a massive source of inspiration for me, and it's, yeah, stuff like that is lovely. It's really, really, really nice to hear.
So, with, like, regards to YouTube and stuff, like, how have you found the community so far? Has it been inviting?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, really, really, really good.
Yeah,
really positive. Everybody supports each other, I think, really, really well. It's a really nice little community, and I just hope, like I say, it's been a bit of a shame that the whole YouTube thing has come about at the same sort of time as the C word. Yeah. And so that's kind of prevented a lot of things from happening, which I think otherwise would have happened. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of people that I want to go and visit. Yeah. Like you were saying, you want to go and see Fussy, so me and him have got plans to do a cat battle. So he's going to paint a cat, and I'm going to paint a cat as well. So yeah, it's, you know, it's
I'd love to see that. That's going to be class.
I feel like I'm kind of like, because when I painted graffiti on walls, you were part of a little kind of family, a little kind of community, and coming away from that and coming into the shadow, I lost touch with that side of things, and it's almost like you kind of got that back again, got that little kind of community of people to support you. So
getting back to the Secret Writer, how did you find jumping in with all that? Like?
Yeah, I mean, it was really good fun. Yeah,
going back to your roots.
Yeah, going back to my roots. I'm a bit disappointed that I didn't go paint a wall. I should have really gone out and painted a wall rather than but I'm lazy. And the canvas is just in front of me there, so
it's literally behind the camera. But no,
but you know, to be part of something, to paint someone who lives in Vietnam, it was just, you know, it's fantastic. Well, I mean, I think they've done every continent except Alaska, I think. So, yeah. So we're looking for people. So if you're from Alaska, get in touch with the Secret Writer.
Yeah. I've done it. I've done a handful of times. I'm glad the guys are taking a break now.
I didn't get invited back, by the way. I mean, I don't know what. You know, he's been in there loads of times.
You don't get invited back.
I didn't get invited back.
Yeah, you don't really get invited back. You just got to say I'm coming back, and then they have no choice to give
fussy flowers and everything, but he didn't. No, never mind.
Yeah, I think it's Gork you got to buy the flowers for. But yeah, no, like I said, Secret Writer guys, like they've been awesome, and like the movement that they've created this last year, has been amazing. Like there's like artists from all over the world that I never knew of. So I come across Code 5 through that. He's a genuinely lovely guy.
Where are you, Code 5? Make a new video.
Yeah, Bring us some more content, man. You know, and then like Fussy from London and X. You know, just to chat to these guys, and we're all kind of in the same boat, really. We're all,
we're
like,
all
really
small channels, aren't we?
Yeah.
So it's nice that we can all kind of get together and support each other.
And that's kind of like what I'm doing today with this little chat with Jeff. Now, I want to try and talk a lot more with other artists, find out what their backgrounds are, how they got into this space, because everybody has a different story. I'm not from a graffiti background. Jeff is. In fact, he's an original hip hop background. I'd love to see some of their moves one day.
Still give you a bit of that.
Yeah, see, still got it. But yeah. So what is the plan now with YouTube? Like, so are you aiming for like a 5-year plan, a 2-year plan, 10-year plan?
I think a 5-year plan, really.
Let's
be realistic. Let's take things sort of one step at a time. I mean, to be honest with you, all I ever wanted to do before YouTube was to just paint for people and to make a living that way. But now that YouTube has come along, it has given me a different kind of perspective and made me realise that, you know, you could actually do something. You could make videos for a living, you know, painting as well. So yeah, I think that the plan is to just try and make more videos, get more content out there, and hopefully get monetized, so I can start, you know, making that sweet money. Yeah, because we could do with some of that sweet money. Because we've been poor for a long time. Yeah.
No, but it's like it's a 5-year plan. It's not tomorrow's plan. You know, so
yeah.
I think that a lot of people's perception of coming onto YouTube is that you're going to look at, like, you know, your big YouTube stars and just create a couple of videos and end up being Bobby Duke overnight, you know, with like 4 million subscribers. Like, you know, that a lot of us are just small channels that are trying to grow and things. So sticking your hand up and saying, look guys, I'm here is pretty hard sometimes. And you know, like me and Jeff are both small creators. We're just hoping really that someone noticed us and gets a lot of inspiration and gets inspired by the videos that we create, and hopefully one day buys some of our artwork, because we're not doing this for nothing. Like, what is it like about your artwork? Like, I love watching this stuff come together. It's like you've got a blank canvas. What part of the painting is your most enjoyable part? Is it the beginning, starting it, or is it the process?
Well, see, I'm quite weird in that I like to make things difficult for myself, and I kind of thrive on like the best part is a blank canvas, because you're looking at the canvas and you're thinking, you know, what am I going to be able to create here, and that's kind of like, that's quite exciting, but at the same time it's terrifying, because as I said to you earlier on, every time I start, no matter how many paintings that I've done, every time I start a new painting, I sit there and I think, how am I going to do this? It just looks impossible. How am I going to do this? But, you know, I go in little by little and it gets done. So probably the start and the finish are the two sort of best times. I mean, there is that moment when it, you know, when you can see that something is working and it's really happening, and you know, that's obviously a good thing as well. But yeah, sort of sitting in front of a blank canvas and just thinking, how's this going to go? Yeah, what can I do on it? I think that's that mixture of terrifying and exciting.
So I find with a beauty with a wall really is that it's got endless of possibilities of what can I do with this.
Yeah.
And you just chip away and, you know, you start creating something, and when, like, you get, for instance, like a chin in and a jawline in, and you're just thinking, all right, there's something coming out of this now, and then you put the eyes in. And
I mean, if you're trying to recreate something, so if you're painting a celebrity or something like that, when that moment when you go, yeah, that's it, I've put that line in and that's really made them. That's
Then you get them juices flowing as an artist of like, oh right, okay, I'm on a run now. Let's put everything else together, and then we can just build. Basically, like building blocks really, and you start putting the things in position.
But for me, I guess from that point, it then gets more terrifying because you think that you're then gonna ruin it, and you can overwork something.
Yeah.
Because I never know when anything is done or finished. I have to go and show it to my wife, who is the person that gets the final say.
The boss.
With everything in this house. And she will say, you know, it's done, or she will say, well, that bit there looks a little bit weird. So it's like from that moment where you kind of you think that it's going really well, I then just want to get it finished as quickly as I possibly can, so that I don't have to. So I don't make the mistake of overworking and doing too much on it.
Oh, so is the plan now to just to constantly do pet portraits, or are you open to?
Well, after having a little chat with you, maybe open to some different things. Maybe I'll be setting myself some challenges. We shall see. Yes.
So what?
Yeah. I guess that the plan is really just to try and you know, raise my profile, as is always the plan, and try and get more work in. Basically, yeah. You know, I'd love to be at a point where I have 10 people waiting to have paintings, and I think if I got to that point, I would quit my job.
Yeah, yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
So
as long as no one from work is watching this, then yeah, I think so.
So, like you just brought up the day job. So what is it that you do as a day job?
I'm the photography technician at Exeter College.
So what's a day entail for a photography technician?
Basically, it's looking after the dark rooms, so setting up the dark rooms ready for the students to use for printing, and then sort of setting up studios and just dealing with the complaints or requests that students have throughout the day. Really. Yeah.
Photography by trade, then, is it?
Photography by trade. Yeah, I went to college and I was all set to be a graphic designer. But I then started hanging out with these guys that were doing the photography course, and we wanted to get a house together, and they basically just said, you should do photography, and they helped me get a portfolio together, and that was it. Started doing photography then. Do
you find with the photography that's where you get that keen eye for detail?
Possibly, yeah. Yeah, that's where the technical side of things come from. Yeah.
As we can see from your work, like that, it is like a picture. It's not as if, like, you know, it kind of looks like something. They do look like genuine images of things, and I'll put some close-ups over this now of some of Jeff's work, and you can really start to see like the paint dots and things, and then that is the only time when you go really close up that you can actually see that yes, it is done with a spray paint can. And to me, I don't think you give yourself enough credit for what you do. Is some outstanding like pieces of artwork that I really couldn't fathom of how to do. Like like I said, we are staring at something that Jeff's about to start painting, and I'm literally flabbergasted how you even start something that small. Like, you know, like things like even this thing in the background. You know, like, you know, we have a Frenchie.
Frenchie, yeah. Yeah.
This is not a print. This is not a picture. This is done with spray paint. Like, this guy's work is incredible, like, you know. So I put it over my own face. But, you know, like, how, like, I just don't get, like, I've seen it being done. I've literally seen work like this being done on Jeff's channel. And, like, so who do we have here?
That's Crazy Maisie.
You know, you have to see it, you have to be here in person to understand the level of detail that goes into your work.
I think that, because like one of the things that I've learnt with photography is that when you have an image and it's smaller, the picture looks better. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it's like everything gets tightened up and then it looks better. And it's a similar sort of thing with painting. Now I thought, because I used to paint big stuff, and I thought that after I've been painting small stuff for a little while, going back to painting big stuff would be really easy. But because of the level of detail that I try to get into the small stuff, I then transfer that to the big stuff, and it just takes 10 times as long. And trying to get out of that habit of just copying exactly what you see in that square on that square is a really difficult thing to do. But it's the thing that makes my paintings, you know, the way that they are, really.
What you mean by square is a grid.
Yeah, from the
inside
grid.
a grid.
But when you do paint smaller, I think you can get away with a lot more because it's not as big and it's not as in your face and you can't see all of the kind of details. So that kind of tightening happens quite naturally because it's quite small, I think.
Do you like them? Do you like doing the smaller stuff, or do you like doing the bigger stuff?
I like doing the smaller stuff. Really.
So can we see you do any bigger stuff in the future?
Well, possibly. Yeah. I mean, like I say, given the opportunity, I'll give anything a go. Really. But yeah, at the moment, it's just small stuff that I'm getting asked to do. So.
So you do a lot of commissions, and you do a lot of work like for yourself for YouTube.
Yes.
So one of your highlight pieces this year has to be the Georgie picture that you did for 1000.
Yep, that's right. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that. How did that come about? How did you start in? What gave you the inspiration for it?
Well, I painted something for the YouTuber Doke, which went down really well. And so basically I thought I'll have another go at doing that, see if I can get some more publicity. And being a big fan of, people like 1000 and Doke and Smo and Cuppa were the people that made me want to start this channel in the first place, because I used to spend most of my evenings watching them on YouTube. And it wasn't a case of thinking, I can do this. It was just like, I want to have a go at doing something like this because it just looks so much fun. I had a lot of confidence issues as well, and it got to the point where it was like, you can't be like this anymore. And the best way to kind of get over that, I think, is to just go, this is me, here I am.
Yeah.
And so I did the painting for Doke. I wanted to do something else. 1000 had a dog, and me and my wife like to watch 1000's videos, and the highlight, sorry 1000, your paintings are fantastic, but the highlight of any 1000 video was when we saw Georgie. And so it had to be done, really. So I sent him a little rap that I made, because he quite likes doing his own little kind of songs, and I think that was the thing really that kind of got his attention.
He's big into his hip hop.
He's big into his hip hop, yes, and in country and western and lots
yes,
of things.
yeah. So what gave you the inspiration then to paint his dog and like you sent it to him?
Yes.
How was that received?
Well, he paid for the shipping, which was incredible for a start.
Wow.
Yeah. He saw it and he was like, I want this. I need this in my life.
Was the intention on sending it to him?
Well, yeah. Originally, the intention was to just send it to him, but obviously, I don't know people's addresses because people remain anonymous when they're on YouTube. So it's not like I just sort of send it to him. So I had to have some kind of communication channel open with him. But initially, the plan was, I mean, the same with the Doke canvas. Really, initially the plan was to just paint something for them and just see what the response was. Really, I didn't really intend on sending to them. So when he said that he wanted it, it was and to see him open the box on camera was just the most. It's like, that's my cardboard box. That's my gaffer tape. I remember gaffer taping that around, and now it's in, where is he?
Massachusetts, I think.
Something like that. Yeah, just stuff like that just blows me away, really.
But I didn't know that like Jeff painted that painting until I actually seen it on 1000's channel, and when that was opened and 1000 literally brought it out of the box and said, you need to go watch Jeff paint, I was so proud of this guy. Like, like he's done something that's being recognised. Like, a lot of like bigger artists don't really realise that we the smaller channels need them to help us out by getting recognised. And like, you had a massive jump up in subscribers,
absolutely,
and viewership.
It went up 2000, I think, almost sort of overnight. So yeah, I'd got to 1000 thanks to the Doke canvas, but with 1000s that pushed me up to 3, which is just phenomenal. Because I'm looking back at videos that I made sort of 7-8 months ago, saying I've got 43 subscribers, and it's like, I'm really grateful for all of your subscribers. And
I think it was 66 at one point,
something like that. And now it's like it's over 3000, which is just amazing.
I got to my first 100 because I literally went and told every single person, if they didn't subscribe, whilst I had them in front of me, go to my page and subscribe. I wasn't leaving, so I had my first 100 by that. After that, I ran out of supply of friends because I think they all blocked me. But that was my first 100 easy. But yeah, do you think that painting this portrait for 1000 is a good catalyst for future projects?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I think you know, I've got a couple of other sort of big name YouTubers in mind who I'd like to do paintings for. So I've got one person that definitely wants me to do a painting for them. So, but yeah, I think it's good for publicity. Definitely, it's good to get your name out there.
Yeah.
I mean, how many subscribers has 1000 got? It's
500,000.
500,000. I mean, just to know that 500,000 people have seen what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Money can't buy that.
Well, it can on YouTube. You can just do YouTube advertising, but I don't think anyone's got that type of money. But no, it's great. Like so, like you mentioned that you did the painting for Dork. Like that was very well received. Like, you know, by Dork himself. How do you react? Like when, like obviously we know how 1000 act. He did it all on camera for us. But
yeah.
So, well, how did Dork react when he finally received?
Well, because Doak put an Instagram story out to say that he received the painting, and he showed the painting and then told people to go and look at my channel.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean he loves it. And I think a couple of weeks later I saw another post where it was hanging in his
I think I missed the initial on his stories.
Yeah.
But I did see the other one where he was walking down and he come past Jeff's painting and he went, oh look, there's Jeff's painting.
Because that's always great to see as well. See the painting actually hanging in someone's. Because I always tell people whenever I give, you know, I've finished a painting and they come and collect it, I always say to them, please can you take a photograph of it, like, you know, in situ, if possible with the dog in front of it as well, because I just think that's fantastic.
Do you get them?
Yeah, I do get them. Yeah.
I've had it plenty of time where you tell someone to do that and then they go away and they never message you back ever. I was just like, oh well, they kind of liked it that much. But no, it's to be fair, like with YouTube and everything, like it's good that, you know, you can bounce off other people, and like so throughout this year, like I've come down now and had a good chat with Jeff here now. I'm hoping to do this now through the year of 2022. I've got some other big names lined up, and not saying, Jeff, you're not a big name. To me, you are. Like I love your artwork. Like, but you know, it's going to be really cool to see what you guys, well, what yourself does throughout this year now, and I'm really excited to see this cat come to life.
Let's make it happen.
And hopefully that I've inspired Jeff to do some out of the box type of stuff.
To pull my finger out.
And that, but we'd So I'm excited to see what this year has in store for yourself. But yeah, definitely in the summer I would love to have you up.
Sounds good.
We'll
You've got a nice little spot up there in the valleys.
Yeah. Get you to paint us.
I'll bring my tent and I'll stay overnight.
Yeah, you'll need a tent. My house is falling apart. No, we definitely have you up. And definitely I'll do a jam, like, you know, just we've got a big wall up in Merthyr. Definitely have you up and do a little paint together, even if I paint one half of a dog and you paint the other half.
Yeah.
My half will look like a melted wheelie bin, but Jeff would be there for 6 weeks.
Hardest working man in the game, this one. Hardest working man in the game.
So, like you've mentioned previously, that you've looked into a lot of YouTubers and they've inspired you. Who would you say has inspired you the most throughout all of this YouTube process?
I don't know whether it's like a sort of an inspiration, but it's more of a motivation.
Yep.
Then that'd be Smo. So Smo is basically the reason why I have a YouTube channel. You know, he's the one that said, yeah, give it a go. I mean, I think it was me that actually sort of said, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. I'm going to give this a go. But he was really supportive. And yeah, he's given me so much advice, and like a bit of a sort of a reality call as well at certain times when I've needed it, about how things are going, and how long it took him to get established and to get the following that he's got, and to just kind of keep keep going with it really, and you will get there. But yeah, so I don't know whether kind of, because it's difficult because there isn't really anybody else doing the same sort of thing as I'm doing, so it's difficult to get inspiration from that. But I certainly get inspired in the way that people make videos. People like Cuppa and 1000 and
they're like movie makers,
they
though,
are,
aren't they?
absolutely.
So
yeah. But that's their job, isn't it? Really. So and that's the difficult thing for me. It's something that I'm trying to do on the side, but trying to make it, make it a reality sort of thing, make it my full-time thing, and that's a really difficult thing to get the balance, because I'm not a young man. I'm not a spring chicken. If I was in my 20s, then I could be up all night and I could be, just hammering it until it was done. But
sounded a bit wrong.
It did sound a bit wrong. Yeah, hammering anything. No, not the middle of the night. Anyway.
But no, I totally get what you're saying. But like, so from the YouTube videos, what are you hoping people take from it?
Ooh,
Are you hoping they get like inspired by the work you're doing, or just see...
I hope nobody does the same sort of stuff that I'm doing. I don't want to wake up one morning and find that there's a new YouTuber with 30 million subscribers that paints dogs on canvas with spray paint.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm happy to inspire people, but only to a certain point.
Yeah. This is my space. Jog on.
Yeah.
But no, it's like, for instance, like, you hoping to inspire like younger people, like there is a space for painting and art and everything like that, I can guarantee that you have inspired loads of different people to jump into the art space. It doesn't have to be a spray paint can artist. I've learnt a lot from yourself from watching your videos. I've used the same techniques in my bigger murals and things. I've learned a lot from you, which is has helped bring me up into a better artist. So are you glad that the people like that are getting stuff from your videos?
And I think going back to the kind of graffiti background, graffiti was always a bit of a sort of an elitist sort of art form, and you had to do things in a certain way, and if you didn't come from a certain sort of place in a certain era, then you weren't really a graffiti, and if you didn't do certain things, you weren't really a graffiti artist. And I think with the stuff that's happening on YouTube at the moment, it just means that just give it a go. Do you know what I mean? Give it a go. What's the worst that can happen? It doesn't matter that you haven't painted subway trains in New York, or just give it a go. If you like graffiti, then just do it. So yeah, I think if we can inspire more people to do the things that we do, then yeah, great. Yeah, that's a good thing. I think
it's about like inspiring people, but then it's like showing like you said earlier on, like there's the problem where people thought that you were a pencil artist, where it's not. It's all done with spray paint. Like you can't capture that in a image.
Yeah.
Here is a dog I painted, where in fact like this video now can actually tell a story behind the piece of like, I've got to set this up, and this is the challenges I have, and the storytelling like aspect of just having a video, even if it's just a time lapse, you've got to see someone take a blank canvas from a blank canvas to a full-fledged photorealistic image, with nothing but spray paint and a brush or a pen here and there. I love the fact of that from YouTube, but
and the thing about having the YouTube channel is because I do still get into conversations where I'll post something and somebody will say, how did you do that with spray paint? And now it's just so easy to just go, well, there's a link, just have a look at it, and then they can see. Whereas before you'd have to get into this whole thing about how you did it, and like you say, you could just be faking it. So the channel stops that from happening. Shuts people up.
Well, it just brings clarity to it, really, doesn't it? That I'm here, I'm doing my work. You can, if you want to see some evidence, here is my back catalogue of paintings that I've done. And Jeff, it's been brilliant coming down and seeing your schedule. I'm hoping to see some more incredible art from yourself. It's been a real pleasure coming down. And
it's been very nice to meet you too.
I'm hoping that we can see some of these challenges that we've set. And been a pleasure. So if you guys want to check out Jeff's channel, there's a link down in the description. Go check it out. If you want to see more videos from myself and Jeff, make sure you like and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one.
You didn't say peace?
Peace.